The Republican presidential debates have certainly changed the dynamic in so many ways, but the best part could be the feinting and ducking, the facial bobbing and weaving that all the candidates are now practiced in. Maybe the frontrunner could be in need of a new act for 2016 in the race to Iowa. When there is a need to understand what all that hand-waving and face-making is about, we turn to the body language expert, author of Red Flags, How to Spot Frenemies, Underminers, and Toxic People in every part of your life, I should say, Dr. Wendy Patrick. I don't know why. It's the day before I leave for vacation, Wendy, so all of a sudden my mouth stopped working. There you go. Dr. Patrick, good to see you again. Here we go. Before we get to the body language, let me ask you, as an attorney, someone who knows the law, the mistrial of Freddie Gray in Baltimore, your comments.
You know, mistrials are very common, first of all, and especially in cases where you're charging police officers. What's interesting about this case, what distinguishes it from many other mistrials, is the judge isn't even letting on what the split is. It could have been 11-1 for guilty. It could have been 11-1 for not guilty. So it's shrouded in mystery. That's one of the things that really makes this probably more frustrating, if for anything else, for the public on both sides. So we're probably going to see is the DA now is going to have to decide whether or not to seek another trial. And that's hard when you don't know what the split is. But you know, Ed, mistrials are very, very common. It's just that this case is so high profile and so closely watched that it's getting an undue amount of scrutiny.
All right, there you go. And of course, we're going to still be visiting this because there will be a new trial. So hopefully everybody in Baltimore will keep their passions down. We are still not at the end of this trail yet. All right, let's get to the debate. Donald Trump and Jeb Bush, picking up right where they left off from the previous debate and the campaign trail. It just looks like these two legitimately don't get along like this.
The simple fact is, if you think this is tough and you're not being treated fairly,
this isn't tough and easy.
Imagine what it's going to be like dealing with Putin, or dealing with President Xi, or dealing with the Islamic terrorism that exists. This is a tough business to run for president.
I know, you're a tough guy, Jeb.
And we need to have a leader that is principled. You're never going to be president of the United States by insulting your way to the presidency.
Let's see, I'm at 42 and you're at 3, so far I'm doing better.
Doesn't matter.
So far I'm doing better.
Wendy, that was classic schoolyard, and I thought Jeb Bush got the best of it.
You know, Ed, for once, Jeb Bush really stepped up to this battle. And this wasn't the only exchange. This was probably the best remembered exchange. There was also another exchange where Donald Trump said, "Am I talking or are you talking?" And Jeb Bush said, "I'm talking." But what he really did in this debate is he gave Trump a little of his own medicine. And I think it probably helped him. The question, of course, at this point is, can it possibly help him enough? Had he taken this hardline approach, if you will, at the very beginning, first couple debates, who knows whether he'd now be in double digits and really be a serious contender to Trump and some of the other frontrunners.
That is an extra piece of fruitcake for you for working the title of the show in there. Very nicely done. All right, here we go. Another one. Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, family ties to Cuba. Both share similar ideas about immigration. Ted Cruz disagreed on some of it, but it was just entertaining watching these two finally go at it. Here we go.
As far as Ted's record, I'm always puzzled by his attack on this issue. Ted, you support legalizing people who are in this country illegally. Ted Cruz supported a 500% increase in the number of H-1B visas, the guest workers that are allowed into this country, and Ted supports doubling the number of green cards.
I understand that Marco wants to raise confusion. It is not accurate what he just said, that I supported legalization. Indeed, I led the fight against his legalization and amnesty bill.
The way I saw it, body language, is Marco Rubio was very contained, did not let his hands go out too much. He was very much in control. I thought it was a great performance.
You know, it really was. I mean, last night was Vegas fight night, and the fight most people wanted to see was the fight between Trump and Cruz, but neither of them went there. So the fight you just showed is interesting because they're both very controlled body language-wise compared to the rest of the candidates. So it's a war on words. These probably are the two most articulate candidates running, Cruz and Rubio. So both of these Cuban-American senators had the opportunity to really go at it with some content. You remember after this exchange, of course, Chris Christie called both of them out and basically said the squabbling senators are what's wrong with Congress and what makes the eyes glaze over of people actually trying to follow the dialogue. So he got a punch in there too.
10 seconds from your opinion, body language, winner and loser, one person.
I think really the loser was probably Ben Carson, only because it was like paging Dr. Carson. He didn't get a chance to really showcase himself.
And the winner?
Winner, I think, was Trump in the large body language, the backslapping. He probably won body language.
He's good at it, and nobody can beat him at it. Wendy Patrick, thanks so much for joining us. I appreciate it. Happy holidays. Stay with us. Hardline continues.